You might have heard that live shopping is exploding. And I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop, prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No, you can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's Zenni.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. How are you? Are you having a good week? Okay, I got a question for you because I'm kind of excited today. I know this is going to be a good show because I've started it like 3 times. I'm so fast moving, I have to slow down. I'm excited to share this with you today. How many times in your life have you put your foot in your mouth and regretted it? Maybe you said something on the phone or in person. Maybe you wrote an email. Fingers, foot, same thing. Maybe a social media post. You're thinking, what did I say that for? Why didn't I say the right thing? I knew what I was supposed to say. Why didn't I do it? Why is that? Happened a lot, hasn't it? I can't count. When I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, then I'm good. I don't put my foot in the mouth, but no promises today. We'll see what happens. It is a daily boost from motivationtomove.com. Every single day, that's kind of what I do. You see, a long time ago, I recognized that my life was not going the way I wanted it to go. So I said, okay, I must be the fault. I must be the problem. So what's going on? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? And I started making little recipes for myself. And those recipes became this show. And we don't specifically go down that path on this show anymore. I do it in other areas where I actually put the frameworks and roadmaps and recipes in place. But here we give you ideas. And so I started doing that. And so that's what we'll talk about today, and some things that you can do just to put in place that will work for you to stop putting your foot in your mouth, if that's okay. Is that cool? Well, we can do that. My name is Scott Smith. I'm the founder and the chief motivating officer here at motivationtomove.com. So happy to have you here today. Putting your foot in your mouth, something I'm an expert at. Absolutely master certified in putting my foot in my mouth. It's no doubt about it. I've earned my living with my mouth my entire life. It has caused issues. My fingers, not much better than my mouth. It has caused issues over time. And some days it still causes issues. And so I have to learn over time not to hold myself back, not to stop being me, not to stop being who I am. No, exactly the opposite. To understand how I communicate, how I operate, how I get things done, when I'm willing to take a stand on things and when I'm not be pushed around and yet get what I want and still not make people mad, right? Not create more unnecessary drama. So over time, I've had to put these in place and it's worked really well. And here's the big thing. I get this really neat privilege. I work with people all day, every day. It's what I do. Some are business clients, a lot of consulting going on to help them run their companies and build their business and make money, stuff like that. Other are just people, just want to make their lives better, which are the same thing, by the way. The people running businesses are just people, and the people just running their lives could be business people. It's the same thing. But every single day, I spend almost every minute of the day going, okay, that didn't work. What does work for you? Let's jot that down and let's create a recipe and let's go do that. It's kind of what I do. So I'm going to share one with you today about the foot in your mouth disease that we all have, because if you're like me, you've done it a number of times. So what's the fix to doing that? You're on the phone, you're talking to somebody's words fly out of your mouth, and you regret it as they're happening. And if you're like me, a real pro at doing it, you hear it coming before it ever gets out of your mouth. You hear it way back. It's like in your stomach, working its way up to your mind and getting it and bouncing around. And then, no, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. Boom, you say it, it happens, right? Or the email that just came in and you're a closer. You want to get it done now. You don't want to put this off to tomorrow. You don't want to think about it. You just, I got to respond now. Let's put this to bed. Boom, done. Ow. And you don't have to delay on your email send. They actually got it. What are you going to do? How do you fix this? I was on the phone with a client a few minutes ago, and I'll summarize this down to what was a brilliant response from him. Something, frankly, I'd been teaching him for months now, and I was so proud. I told him this. I said, my God, you finally did it. You did the one thing I said you should do, and you did it. And it was amazing, and he didn't even know he'd done it. It just happened. So take my advice. You can work with me for months, and you can pay me a whole ton of money, or you can listen really close today. Stop. He stopped in his tracks. When he got an email, he stopped and didn't respond at all. Why? Well, like a lot of folks, it kind of irked him a little bit. Them's fighting words. What do you say that for? Why would you even go there? Things were good, and I'm going to give you my 2 cents back. That's what a lot of people would want to do, right? You ever get an email like that or a phone call like that? Like out of the blue? Happens. Stop. Stop in your tracks. Take a pause. Don't respond. You don't have to right now. The next thing he did really perfectly well was think. He pondered how he was feeling about what was going on. And he showed me what he was doing. This is why this whole thing came down. He shared a screen with me. He showed me what he did. He literally, at the very first line, says, why do I feel this way? And how am I feeling? And why do I feel guilty about a mistake I'm about ready to make? And what should I say? Blah, 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 blah. What's all driving this? He was thinking about it. And it was so cool because it was really about 10 or 12 items in a row that essentially evaluated how he was feeling about this. What he wrote to himself was probably as long as the email he got, right? So he spent a little bit of time, probably 5 minutes doing it. He stopped. He was thinking about what was really going on inside himself, just for a second there. Then think again. Just part of the process, he wrote his feelings down, what actions he could and should be taking, and when he would take them. Pause. Just pause. Just wait. Act. In his entire process, it took just a few minutes. But it got longer than that because, you know why? Because he slept on it overnight. Oh, go figure. This is age-old advice right there. Sleep on it, right? But it's going to keep me awake. I can't sleep. I don't have a Xanax and ZQL in the world to make me sleep through this problem. I need to get it done now. No, you don't. Take a few minutes. Sleep on it. And he ended up responding with a very short email the next day. The result was no added drama and continued positive momentum. That's what happened. In other words, nothing happened. As he said, I didn't poke the bear. I said, yeah, when the bear comes sniffing around, don't poke the bear. Stop, think again, act. It was so cool to see this happen. I know it sounds very, very simple, but how many times have you been in that situation? Now, let me give you something else here. Because this is the next thing that happened. This is the next question that came to me from him. He says, well, what do I do when I have to get on the phone call with somebody or somebody calls me? What do I do? I said, well, it's a kind of different thing. If somebody calls you and you don't know who they are, you're kind of in a different place. So we need a prompt, a script, if you will. You need a document you can put in front of you that tells you how you act when somebody calls you and you've never talked to them before.
What are your hot buttons? What are your hot spots? What are the things that you're likely to say and you don't want to say because maybe you're on the defense, a salesman calls you or you see him as a salesman and you don't want to talk to him because you don't want to buy anything, but if it was good, you would buy it, but you don't want to ruin the relationship, but maybe you will. So you have a little prompt sheet. It's not a script, but it's a prompt that basically says when somebody calls me, this is how I react to it. Or maybe you're going to make a phone call to somebody you already know. Why would you not have a prompt sheet to do that? Something that would say, hey, I'm calling this person who's an associate of mine, and this is what I know they respond to best, and this is my hot button. This is what I'm going to say because it drives me crazy. So instead, I'm going to say this. Why would you not have 4 or 5 items that you could use in front of you when you called somebody that you would reference as needed to make sure the conversation was consistent and went the direction you wanted it to go? No foot-in-mouth disease. Why would not? And here's the super duper advanced version of it. Just keep a document of these people you talk to. Any good salesperson knows this. They figure it out. Keep a document of these people you talk to and it's not a log. It's not a, hey, this happened, that happened. No, don't do that. Update the document for the communication techniques that you need to use with them to get what you want. And the hot spots to avoid saying the stuff you don't want to say. So a long time ago, all this whole process, when it all started, I used to call it my recipe for me. That's what I called it 25 years ago. I've used it ever since to create in advance and utilize for consistent results. This and thousands of other itty-bitty little things that seem like work, but they're not, because once you start doing just the stuff that works, you don't have to do everything else. Once I know something works, all I have to do is check my recipe. Life is good. Did you hear what I said? Once you know what works, you don't have to spend time doing that other stuff that doesn't work. So you have more time to pay attention to what does work. Yeah. You won't be so crazed that you can't stop and check your little cheat sheet to see how you're supposed to react if you'll just get rid of the other BS that's in your life. But you don't have to listen to me at all. No, you don't have to do that. I've only done this full time now, 20 years now for myself, and done really damn well doing it. I'm happy to help you with it as well. All right, so we'll be back tomorrow. If you would like to get the premium version of the show, if you don't already have it, if you do, thank you very much. That's commercial-free version, the coaching, the nuggets, everything else I send out. Go to motivationtomove.com. Thank you all who have done that. It's how we keep this podcast coming, along with the sponsorships that we have on the worldwide side. That's how you can get that. I will tell you more about this process and how I can help you figure things out here in just a little bit. Hang on for the ride. In the meantime, get out there and have a great day. Enjoy your day. If you need anything, shoot me a note at support@motivationtomove.com. Happy to respond to you whenever I hear from you. And I'll see you tomorrow right here on the Daily Boost.